Good Monday to you. It's Dan. I want to welcome y'all to my home in the sticks. Lord of mercy. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. I've had a few folks ask me, hey Dan, what's going on with that rainwater catchment system you have over there at the home in the sticks? I'm finna walk over yonder and I'm gonna show you what I got going on. All right, you and y'all, I actually have two systems. This one right here is 220 gallons. I have these blue 55-gallon drums that I acquired, and I have two IBC totes over there. But let's talk about this one first. I have some rain gutters set up on my shack right here, and I want to say this is about a 20-foot span maybe, and I have some of that pliable rain gutter pipe that goes into a bunch of 4-inch stuff, and from 4-inch it goes to 2-inch into these 55-gallon drums. Now what I have over here is a first flush system, or a first flush diverter. And what that does is the first 5 or 6 gallons of water that comes off of this shack, it goes into this first flush diverter. What that does is if you have any sediment on top of your shop, shack, or wherever you have your rainwater catchment system set up at, it will catch that first 5 to 10 gallons of rainwater and it will hold it in here. Now inside this thing, Lord of mercy, I don't want to get wet. You can see there is a plastic baseball, kind of like a wiffle ball. What happens is, as this first flush diverter fills up, that wiffle ball or plastic baseball will actually rise up as the water increases inside of this tube. Once it reaches this point right here, that wiffle ball or baseball will actually block the hole, and it will cause the water to stop going into this thing and actually go into that 2-inch pipe and into these 55-gallon drums. I've had this system set up probably for a little over a year. It definitely needs some maintenance. Did I say you need to maintain them? Yes, you do. As you can see right here, I have some pieces that have cracked. This one right here, that's cracked. This right here is actually cracked. I don't know what's going on with that, because every time I get a good rain, you should empty out these first flush diverters, which is what I normally do. We had a just unseasonably cold winter over here, and I don't know if the winter cracked it or whatnot, but I have a lot of maintenance I need to do on it. Since we're right here on the back end, this is an overflow. So once I get 210 gallons of water, or once all 4 of these 55-gallon drums fill up, it will actually overflow from here, and actually I'll put it into this right there. You don't want to waste no rainwater now, do you? I don't. The interesting thing about this system is all of these 55-gallon drums are plumbed in unison. So what does that mean? Whenever the rainwater falls or is collected in these barrels, they will fill up equally. It's not set up to where when one fills, it spills over to this one gets full, it spills over to this one gets full, it spills over to that one. Nah, all 4 of these barrels will fill equally. Another thing to point out is rainwater catchment systems are only limited to the imagination. You can build it however you want it. You can make it as extreme as you want it. I don't drink any of this water in these rain barrels. Not saying that I couldn't without maybe boiling some water or whatnot. If I got in a jam, I probably could. This catchment system is just to water my garden. That's the only thing I use this system for, and that system over there is just to water my garden. And that thing coming down right there that looks like an accordion, I actually have some of this stuff right here, this fine mesh, and it acts as a filter. So I have one filter there, and I actually have some hosiery, some stockings or some pantyhose. That's one filter there, and then I have a filter here. So what I'm trying to do is, as that water is coming down off of the roof, Whatever doesn't get caught in that first flush system will get caught up in 1, 2, 3 ways. And you have to empty them out every now and then. It's a pretty good system, and it's worked really well for me. I just need to do a lot of maintenance on it. I need to get up there and actually clean my gutter system out. Just one of them things I gotta add on the list of things to do. This is system number 1. All right, what I have over here is 2 IBCs. These guys right here hold 275 gallons of water each, is what I could store in these guys right here. Thing applies to my shop. This span up here, 25 foot long by 20 foot that way. My shop collects an awful lot of rainwater, and I mean, when it comes down, it comes down. Again, I have a first flush diverter here that needs some, I got to do some maintenance on it. Got some cracking right here. I'm just probably going to redo this whole system. Yes, it has worked, and I've collected, you know, over 500 gallons of rainwater in this system. The one thing I will tell you, and I want to point out, is on your first flush diverter, you want to be able to collect at least 1 gallon of water that comes off of whatever it is that you're catching it from. This first flush diverter right here will hold a good 10 gallons of water, if not more. And each one of these guys has a clean out. As it fills up, it will block this 2-inch neck right here, and it will cause the water to then run from there that way down into the tanks. IBCs are a good way to go if you can find them, but the thing about it is, if you want to go a IBC rain catchment system, it would behoove you to figure out or to know what it is that was stored inside of these IBCs. These IBCs had, if I am not mistaken, I want to say syrup or hot sauce. I can't remember which one it was. These 2 tanks here are run in unison as well. As this one fills up, this one will fill up equally with this one. And this is all plumbed together. And I have an overflow, which I need to actually work on as well. I'm thinking I'm not going to go this method on the overflow. What I'm probably going to do is get me a 3/4 inch top hat grommet, cut into this thing right here, and stick me some 3/4 inch pipe out and go down, and I can go into something else to catch the overflow from these 2 IBCs. Now, Dan, why do you have these IBCs painted black? I'm glad you asked. These IBCs were clear when I first got them. I went ahead and spent a little bit of extra money and Krylon both of these IBCs. And what that does is it helps with the algae growth inside of these tanks. A little bit of algae growth because I don't know if you can see that. I took me a piece of tape and I covered this guy up just so I can know. Well, I covered it up, painted it, and then I ripped it off. And now it gives me a level of the water. And right now I am sitting on 250 gallons of water right now. So I've been using this guy really good. I've been using it a lot to water everything. And as far as dispersing the water, there's your pump, Mr. CB, and it is still working quite well. I just have a full-way T on here. Well, it's not really a T, but it's a full-way water. And I have 2 hoses hooked up to it. And again, I have my 12-volt battery, plug it into this. This pump right here provides enough pressure to push that water out. And what I've been doing is I have a hose here, and that waters my raised bed gardens over there. And this hose here waters 2 16-foot gardens, raised bed gardens, and also my earth garden. So there you have it. Had a few folks ask me about the rainwater catchment system that I use over here at my home in the sticks. I have 2, a small one and a big one, and they've worked out really well. This one over here I haven't used yet because I'm still working on that one over there. But I wanted to show you and y'all the water catchment system that I use over here and what I use to water my raised beds and my little earth garden. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Home in the Sticks channel, y'all sure enough need to come over and give me a look now, because I'm always doing stuff. Really, And with that being said, you know it's coming. Dan sure enough gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. Especially if you want to catch rainwater to water everything. And we will see you and y'all in the next video.